It's about time I hop back on this gamer life thing. I've done one of these so far, and I thought I did a decent job at it. I'll put a link in the description below for those who have not seen that video. It was the one where he was talking about his history as a gamer. I did a video talking about mine as well. Well, this time Alloy7 asked the question, do video games need stories? The obvious answer is yes, of course video games need stories. I mean, you have to have a reason why you're stomping on Goombas. You have to have a reason why you're picking up a shotgun and shooting things in the face with it, or whatever it is you're doing in a video game. You have to have a reason. That reason is the story, and the story could serve as nothing more than an excuse to point your shotgun at things and shoot them in the face, or it can be so much more. And that's kind of the beauty of video games as an entertainment medium, is these story possibilities that sadly most video games don't seem to take advantage of, or seem to have no idea what to do with their story other than a bunch of Hollywood cliches and whatnot. Most video games don't have a decent story. Most video games do not develop characters well at all, and it always feels like kind of a wasted opportunity, and it makes a game such as Mass Effect, where it does tell story extremely well, and uses the medium to tell a story that no other medium could tell. It makes those extra special when that does happen. Mass Effect is a brilliant game on so many levels. It tells its story in a way that nothing else can. Mass Effect happens to have stellar writing and a story that changes depending upon how you play it and what you do. And your choices carry from one game to the next, and that is a prime example of how storytelling in games can be. That is a very good use of the medium to tell stories. While most games will just have like a linear plot line, and if the story is good, i.e. Final Fantasy VI or Half-Life 2 or something along those lines, if it tells a good story, I still don't mind it that much, but it's not putting the storytelling medium that is video games to their fullest use. Video games allow the user to choose how exactly they want to play it. Do you want to kill every Goomba? Do you want to just jump over and ignore as many enemies as you possibly can? What do you want to do? How do you want to play it? That kind of thing. And that storytelling should take that approach to it. Games such as Mass Effect or Fallout or Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic all tell this kind of story, where your actions and your character have sway over the things that happen over the course of the game, and that is kind of the missed opportunity for most games in this industry. Most people want to tell a straightforward narrative, point A, point B, point C, point D. You can tell that kind of thing in a movie or a book. That really isn't taking advantage of the medium. So the question you propose, I don't think should be, do video games need a story, so much as how should video games approach storytelling? There is so much room for exploration, and we've just barely touched the surface with very few companies that have done it well. I mean, who besides BioWare can you think of has had that kind of story and that kind of impact and shown us what video game stories can truly be? Sure, we've had examples of video games as art before, such as Shadow of the Colossus, but even that has a typical story, point A to point B to point C to point D. You go through it linearly. With something like a Mass Effect, you don't. You're given a group of planets, you go to them in the order that you want to, and you choose and pick what you do on each planet. That is a very, very good example of video games as a storytelling medium. And that is what this industry needs to do more of in the future. There have been some excellent stories that have come out of Japan, especially in regards to Japanese RPGs, but they always kind of go for a linear arc. I still enjoy the ones that tell really good stories. I tend to get bored with the ones that don't. With Final Fantasy VI, I can keep playing it beyond the point that it has kind of gotten stale after a while because the story is good, and I appreciate that. But I would love to see Japan, someone like Square Enix, or preferably someone who hasn't fucked up as much recently as Square Enix has, because let's face facts, Final Fantasy XIII is fucking terrible. Someone like that take the storytelling of a game like BioWare and try to adapt it to their style, their own spin on it, and have their own kind of multiple choice type of storytelling where you could go, well, I can do this and it affects it in this way, or I can do this and it affects it in that way. That is an excellent use of storytelling in video game. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. That would be greatly appreciated. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody. Bye.